Well, hello, I'm Dr. Julia Royston, BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the coaching community, the Book Business Bosses Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss and live your best life. This is the day that the Lord hath made. I shall rejoice and I shall be glad in it. So, I thought I was done with the assignments thing, but he said one more. So I seek to do what he says and follow instructions. And so today we're talking about the assignment warning. The assignment warning, and you'll see what we're going to be talking about in just a second. But it's taken from Exodus 13:21. The Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. So we used to have a song, and I think Minister James Abney was the clinician, because our choir used to have anniversary concerts every year, and um, I just there's a piece of it. Move with the cloud, move with the cloud, move with the cloud was one of the hooks of it, and but it was basically saying move when God says move, and when He doesn't say move, stop where He says stop. Because when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, they crossed the Red Sea. Moses stuck out the rod, so they had a journey to go, but they spent a lot of time in the wilderness and all of that because the complaining and everything. But God was specifically and strategically. They didn't they weren't confused about when to go, when to come, because a cloud, when the cloud stopped, they stopped. When the cloud moved, they moved. When the fire came, it enabled them to keep moving even by when the fire was moving. But when the fire stopped, that's where they camped, and they had warmth and they had light. Can you imagine how supernatural that was? Just them having the warmth, and they didn't have to build their, I mean, they might have built a fire near the tents. They were tents, lived in tents at the time, before houses they didn't build and vineyards they didn't dig and the whole nine yards. But can you imagine just, having a well lit area? Just That's just miraculous, even by itself. That's just something to think about all by itself. But the assignment warning is that you don't, one, keep your eyes closed. You got to keep your eyes open. So when Bishop Jackie McCullough used to come to my home church in Louisville, she would tell the altar workers, she did an altar worker and people during altar call to keep their eyes open. They always close their eyes. And she said, how you going to see what's going on and what God is showing you? You got your eyes closed. You can't see when somebody falling. You got to keep your eyes open. And sometimes when we get an assignment, the assignment warning number one is sometimes you can't keep your eyes closed. You got to have your eyes open at all times. So when I in Cincinnati, where I worked for this major Fortune 500 company, they used to, I don't even remember whether it was a supervisor who told me or a coworker told me. I said you should always be on alert and looking when they send out the emails saying congratulations, John Smith is moving to Germany. Oh, that's always a good thing to make lateral promotions. And then Emily Jones is moving to the West Coast. They said, but you should always get concerned when upper level management leaves the company, because the company is designed for you to stay long term, retire. So that's either they're at retirement age. That's a great thing. Put the cake in the candle, put the hat on them, and go get them the plaque and everything else. She said, but I think the person was like, if they move and they're not of age and they start moving to other companies, and that's not a good sign when your upper level, especially decision makers, start moving and start shifting. Don't close your eyes. Be on alert, especially if it's in the department you're in. So some people close their eyes. They just see the handwriting on the wall, but they just ignore it. They don't focus on what else is going around. Now I understand you should have tunnel vision. You could be focused and driven, but you need to be an alert. There are a lot of people who have lost jobs, and it didn't matter what they were looking at. The company didn't tell them. Oh, everything's wonderful, and then tomorrow the whole plane is shutting down. Some things you don't know. Sometimes the media doesn't make the announcement. They don't do the press release until later. But there's something about not only these eyes that's on the front of your face and my glasses that help me see even clearer, but there's that inner eye that's telling you something's not right. Something's not going right. So number one, assignment warning is don't keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes open at all times. Be on alert. Be looking when you're in a new assignment. You're observing. When my sister started her new position, she came out of the classroom and started on an administrative level. I said, your first few weeks, no matter how much you know, no matter how much experience you have, you don't know what goes on in this building, how they do it here. So keep your eyes open. Go in like you know nothing so that you can observe what works, what doesn't work. Don't even make any comments. Keep your eyes open to see how they do it, who's really in charge, who's really the boss in the building, not just the principal, not the leader, but who's really the leader. So number one, the assignment warning, keep your eyes open. Because some people keep their eyes closed. Oh no, I'm only going to put my head down right here. And they say the whole building could be falling around on your head, but you're going to focus on what you're doing. And then some people keep their ears closed. Now I understand that the warning is, protect the eye gate, protect the ear gate, but you still have to not put stuff cotton in your ears so that you don't hear the truth. There's something about rumors and all that, and other things that, the enemy seeks to bring distractions and all that, but you still have to keep your ears open. And if more than anything else, even if you are not privy to some of the conversations, God will have you run up on conversations. I mean, I tell you, I've told it several times. I spent the last 2 to 3 years just eating in my classroom. But sometimes you just walk by. You're not asking what's the latest gossip today. You don't even need to, because they talking so loud. Your ears just hear it. But then I have to go back through and filter it for what God's saying. So my ear, number one, has to be open to him. You can't keep your ears closed. You got to keep them open. If nothing else, you got to keep them open so that you can hear what God is saying. He that hath the ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying, what the scripture is saying. Let him open up his ears for that. Open up that God, Jesus healed people that were deaf, and he opened up their ears. So make sure you don't keep your ears closed, especially to the Lord, and especially in your environment. Somebody could be yelling to you, and because you're in danger, and you got your ears so closed, you got headphones on, your music's so loud. I remember hearing about a young man who had his music up so loud that he couldn't hear the fire alarms, and he was killed. So some of it is warning and danger. It's not just gossip and rumor mill and evil. It is the absolute truth, and you have to keep your ears open. Now you have to verify it. Yeah, you have to be careful who you speak to, who you don't, who you trust, who you don't. But you gotta, keep your eyes open. Don't keep your eyes closed. Number two, that's a warning to you. Keeping your ears closed. Keep your ears closed. Keep your ears closed. Got to keep them open. And then number three, you did too much. You did too much. Now, there are some things that, and I know people have been devastated and hurt because they gave their all to a job. They gave their all to something that was not giving back to them. They did too much. They went above and beyond. And people didn't respect it. They didn't appreciate it. They didn't compensate it. And then even if they didn't properly give you money compensation, they didn't say, okay, since you came so much extra, you have 2 additional personal what was that, personal time off, PTO hours to yourself. Or they didn't compensate you in any way. They just said more and more. They were in the taker situation. But you did too much. You went above and beyond the Call of Duty. You went above and beyond your job to the detriment of your health, your family, your meaningful relationships, and even your ultimate assignment. You gave all to that when that wasn't where God intended for you to be in the first place. Or this assignment was temporary and you took it to the whole next level. Now, there's nothing like doing a good job. I advise my clients and people I mentor, give the job exactly what it's supposed to have. But you cannot necessarily give them everything and think they're going to be loyal to you in return. All your fresh ideas, they might be for your business. All your ultimate things, they may be for something else. That might be an idea you need to write down or put in a document and save on your hard drive somewhere, or put on a jump drive or save in the cloud. That might not even be for that business. It might not be for that assignment. It may be for an assignment at a later time. Knowing when that is and what that is, you need God to tell you, release that. Oh no, it's not time for that. He's already told me you're going to write that book 5 of that Terrence Turfic series. But right now, that's not where I head. You need to be focused on this book. Oh yeah, he's like that. Because right now you got other client responsibilities, other things you got to do. You'll get to that fiction and little ideas come, but really sitting and focusing on it, you can't really do that until after you finish this. So some of you have been in assignments and you're only supposed to do this much and you did that much. You did too much. You did too much. You did too much. Okay. So, and this last one really goes with the move with the cloud. Some of you stay too long. I've done that. I always think about when he told me to leave Cincinnati and come to Louisville. What if I had come 4 months sooner? What if I had come? Because I went back and forth and prayed and cried and I don't want to go and I'm good and I'll pay more tithes, not just these tithes. I'll double tithes. And if I have more money, I did all that. He said, I don't care if you're paying $2 in tithes. It's not the amount. It's the discipline. So you trying to wage it with me when the cattle on the 1,000 hills is mine and all the silver and gold is mine. Everything's mine, and you trying to bargain with me about my money that I already got. Really, girl? You better get on down 71 South. But I think, I wonder what would happen if I'd have come 4 months early. Would I had a different job? Because I stayed 4 months longer than I was supposed to. I should have been gone. But I thought I could, wait him out. I knew better, but I thought but some of you stayed too long. Your assignment, you stayed past time. You closed your eyes and you just kept getting that check. You closed your ears. You wouldn't listen to God. You wouldn't listen to nobody. You did too much, and then you stayed too long. And that can be in a multiplicity of things, whether it was ministry, whether it was a marriage, whether it was any type of relationship. Friends, you hung on too long until you was mad, until you was bitter, till you was hurt, till you was upset, till you was depleted, you was tired, exhausted, felt like a big straw was in your back, and they sucked the living life out of you. Did you stay too long? He said go back, and he said leave in January, but you stayed until he said go in December, but you said, well, let me get through the end of the year. Let me get the Christmas bonus. Let me get I know. There's no condemnation, no judgment zone over here. I clearly understand, because there's sometimes you're doing a good thing. It's a good thing. Your assignment is a good assignment. But when that assignment is up, God says it's up. Not just, God said the assignment is up. When he says it's up, it's time to go and pack up quickly. Recently, I had been going to an event for many times, and he said, now this one's your last one. And I because of the previous experience I had with assignments, relationships, and connections, I said, do I go to this one, or do I stay and just forfeit the money and ignore that? He said, no, you can go on and go, but once you go, you're gonna know this is the last one. You're gonna go, but you're gonna know why I said it's the last one. So you stay too long. So the assignment warning is primarily to move with the cloud, move with the fire, move with God. Stop when God says stop. Go when God says go. Turn when he says turn. Sleep when he says sleep. To move with the cloud, move with the pillar of fire, move with his voice. Because you don't want to go. Keep your eyes on him. I will look to the hills. Cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Keep your ears open. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying. And then you do too much. You go over and above board, but he didn't tell you to do all that. And you tired and you wore out and you're drained and you don't have energy for what he really did call you because you did too much over here when you weren't even supposed to be in the first place. You're supposed to have been gone. And then you stayed too long. Because the one thing about not moving with the cloud, you left the group. You wasn't with the community. You wasn't with the blessed, the movement that he was blessing at the time. And so you decided you're going to stay out there on your own and do your own thing and do it your own way, but God wasn't in it. My assistant pastor used to say you got out there and you got some stumps you couldn't pull because you went and you didn't have God's authority. You didn't have God's blessing. You didn't have God's power. You didn't have God's grace and mercy on that particular assignment. And when he said, shut it down, and you were too embarrassed. You were too, your ego got in the way. Your pride got in the way. Your humiliation got in the way. I mean, people like, girl, would you come back home from your mama said you got that good job. Girl, why you leave that good job for? Why you leave that good man? Why you leave that good woman? Why you leave that? You don't want to stay too long because you come up dead. You don't want to stay too long. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Don't do too much. Do what is required. And when the assignment is up, leave. I trust that helps you today. I know. It was a little. Don't stay too long. That's the assignment warning. I trust that blessed you so that you can live your best life. Heard on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Coming up on envision-radio.com where praise meets talk 24/7. Also coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Spike Davis and Friends Show. Tune in for laughs, music, and more. And on Tuesdays, the Book Business Boss Show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, envision-radio.com. The replays are at the Book Business Boss Podcast.com. 100 ways to be a book business boss. Subscribe to the channel. Go through a few of the videos. There's 100 in all at youtube.com, Book Business Boss. And also, I have on May 16th, the Book Business Boss panel series. We're starting off with, so you want to be a publisher, or are you even ready to be a publisher? On May 16th, and to kind of get you ready and get your mindset, go to beabookbusinessboss.com. It's a free download for you, getting you prepared for May 16th with this Book Business Boss panel 1, the publishers panel. Are you ready to be a publisher? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you go to beabookbusinessboss.com, you'll be able to get the flyer and see the flyer. Of course, the flyer is on my social media too. So love for you to friend us, follow us, subscribe, YouTube, everywhere you want to be. All of the links and all of the websites and online stores are at JuliaAKRoyston.com. That's JULIA. And there is another A and a K, ROYSTON. I trust that this has blessed you. I hope that this has helped you in everything that you do and say. You all be blessed. Have a fantastic rest of the week. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, praying today, tomorrow, and always that you live your best life. Be blessed.